Yeah. So let's start our session now. Okay. So thanks for joining everyone. So good morning to everyone once again. And let's begin our demo as part of our today's Spring and Spring Boot and microservices training. So what is just an information to you is maybe by any chance if it is got disconnected, maybe I'm just telling you, just be online. I'll connect back in case any network issues. So that is the one thing I would like to know you. And then second thing is, if you are having any doubts, you can utilize the chat box and just ping over there. And I hopefully I will cover all your doubts by end of the demo sessions. Okay, so even if still if you are having any outstanding doubts, you can ask me, no problem. But just I'll give you last 10 minutes. We'll take all doubts and discussions so that before that, I'll just explain you all the details. What exactly the frame, I mean, details about the training process, what exactly we are doing, what we are learning and all. I'll give you all the information step by step process. So at last 10 minutes, we can take all the doubts. And meanwhile, if your doubts are there, just you can paste your doubt on the chat box. So in between the session, I'll open the chat box also. So just follow these instructions and let's start our training now. So I'll cover every details as part of this. Okay, thanks. Yeah, just give me a moment. So thanks. Let's take, don't interrupt this session. I will take all your doubts at last 10 minutes. Okay, thanks. Yeah, thanks for joining one more time. Let me, before going into the details, let me give a brief overview about myself. So my name is called as Dilip Singh. So I'm working from last 12 years as a Java developer only. From last 12 years as a Java developer I'm working. So that means I'm completely as a backend developer. I'm working always from last 12 years. And as part of the Java development, yes, sorry. Yeah, so as part of my career as a Java developer, I started working on so many frameworks, like especially the most popular one is like Spring and Spring Boot. Even I worked on one of the frameworks, one more framework called as Quarkus also for a couple of years. 2 years I worked over there, and then I worked for microservices architecture. Even in the current application also, in current company also, I'm working on as a on top of Spring Boot and microservices technologies. So that is what my overview here. So when it comes to training point of view, yes, I started providing training from last 3 4 years, around 4 years onwards. So in training, I have provided so many other areas. I provided trainings, but the most of the times I provided training in the Spring Boot and microservices, Spring comma, Spring and Spring Boot. So that means I provided most of the times training on the Spring frameworks, Spring, Spring Boot as well as microservices. So I provided most of the times training on the Spring and Spring Boot microservices only. So I'll take the training in a way like how things are happening as part of every organization. So as a Java developer, where we have to focus and what we have to improve and enhance if you want to get a job chances, and what exactly with respect to theory versus practical point of view, what exactly we have to take care as part of our preparation, or maybe if you're already doing the job, so where exactly you have to enhance your knowledge to make sure your career is settled as a Java developer or maybe Java full stack developer. And so these are all details I'll cover generally as part of the training. So along with the regular concepts, I'll take all the details by considering, so simply guys, my training will goes like how I am working how I'm working in my company, and whatever the ways, whatever the possibilities we are having while we are working in company. So what are the way we are thinking? So in such a way, I'll take the training. So that means it's all most of the times I'll try to match with the real time oriented examples only. So I'll always take only real time oriented examples, and I'll make sure the training is always happening in a real time environment point of view. So that my thought process is always like, let's deliver the content what I'm doing on daily basis in my organization in same point of view. So let's make same kind of discussion, same kind of example, same kind of explanation as part of the training, so that people will aware of it, what exactly the real time training meaning is. So that is what my point here it is. So the things will always goes via practical only. So if you want, you can cross check maybe on my YouTube channel as, so if you can find out on Dilip IT Academy. So there you can find out, and even I provided earlier training on other training institutes also like Naresh IT and all. So I provided I completed so many batches over there with respect to Spring Boot and microservices, and so many students are got settled once they got the knowledge of Spring Boot and microservices. So I'm happy for everyone, and at the same time now I'm hoping going further, the people whoever is joined here, or maybe whoever is following the things, my things, and I'm ready to help everyone with respect to practical knowledge. So please just follow my instructions, and whenever I said something like this is most important, that is definitely you have to make sure getting good knowledge in that area. And whenever I said something like maybe it's okay, you can ignore it, or maybe you can have a basic knowledge about it, yes, just follow that instruction, that's all. Because the reason is, so there are always two things. One is myth versus reality. So as part of myth point of view, you will have a lot of myths. So you don't know what is the reality out of it. But I'm going to give you things always about reality point of view. So just follow all the instructions as part of the training what I'm going to provide. Okay. So now the today's agenda is all about what is Spring, Spring Boot, and microservices. So why, as a Java developer, whether you are a fresher or whether you are an experienced person, 1 year experience, 2 years experience, 10 years experience, or 15 years of experience, or you are a job seeker, whoever it is, either you are a job seeker, fresher, experience, whatever it is, then what is the need of Spring and Spring Boot and microservices? We have to understand. Then only we can get concentrated on the training as well as the concepts, so that when you know the need, then only you will start showing interest. Without knowing the need, if you started learning something or if you are making something, you will not have that much what that much interest or that much ease on that task, whatever it is. So that's why first knowing the need is most important, and based on the need we have to start always executing the things. That is what generally we will follow in our day-to-day life also, right? So now what is the point of Spring and Spring Boot and microservices? Is it really required or not? From a graduate who completed graduation, nothing but a job seeker, from job seeker to until 10 to 15 years of experience people, I am going to give you the overview it is. Yes, I can say like whenever we want to work as a Java developer, or you want to start your career as a Java developer, okay, whether you are from as a job seeker point of view or experience point of view also, if you want to settle down your career, especially as a Java development area in Java environment, 100 percentage is required knowledge of knowledge of frameworks. Generally, there is a concept available, framework. So what is framework? I'll just. So that means if you want to start our career in the Java environment, Java development, then 100% we should know frameworks. Otherwise, without knowing the knowledge of frameworks, you will never ever get a job, even though you are a fresher, or even though you are just recent passed out and you are looking for the job. So without frameworks knowledge, 99 percentage or greater than 99 percentage, you will never get a chance. And even though you are getting very rare case, okay, very, I mean, I'm not saying like 100% is not possible. So I'm saying like most of the times, many of the chances, like I can say like 70 to 80 percentage are greater than 70 to 80 percentage of point of view. I'm talking all this. explanation. Okay, don't say like, sir, with core Java I got job, someone else got. Yes, there are scenarios. I'm not saying like that, but when you are entering into the open market means you know that out of the college and you didn't get anything and all. Once you entered into the open market, whether you are a fresher or whoever it is, they will, based on your experience, based on your okay position, they will expect knowledge based on the okay of frameworks. So that means as a graduate, as a job seeker, how much knowledge you need in the Spring and Spring Boot as part of microservices also, I'll explain you. And even as an experienced person point of view, what they will expect as a 2 years experience, 3 years experience, 10 years experience point of view also, I'll give you overview about it. So the first point is yes, if you want to start our career as a Java developer, definitely we have to make sure knowing frameworks. Now, what is a framework here? It is point number one. Why? What is the point of framework? And you know that Java generally we are calling it as a programming language. So when we are learning a programming language, then after that, what is the need of framework? So what is the need of framework? So why everyone is talking about frameworks when you are learning again a programming language? When you are learning a programming language, again why people are talking about frameworks? Not only Java language. If you go to the Python, yes, there will be some frameworks available. I'm not good in the, I don't know anything much about Python, but I just came to know that something like they are calling it as Django, something like that. Okay, something like NumPy or whatever it is, Panda, whatever it is, I don't know many, but still Python is a programming language. These are all frameworks. Similarly, if you are going to the .NET also, they will have their own frameworks. Okay, MVC framework, something like ASP.NET or whatever it is. On core programming languages, you will always have a frameworks. Similarly, in Java language also, we associated to Java language also, we have the frameworks. So to get a job, we need always frameworks knowledge. So now, when it comes to what is a framework, I'll explain you. But as part of Java language point of view, yes, what are the frameworks available in the market right now is there are so many available. I'm not saying like you know only Spring and Spring Boot. Okay, Spring Boot, these things. But at one point of time, there are so many frameworks available. Like I will just give you the names: Struts and Hibernate. There are so many frameworks. Hibernate, even right now also, I told you right. There is one more framework called as Quarkus, and as well as Micronut, like that, etc., etc., etc. We have so many frameworks which are associated to the Java language, because you know that Java is a big community. So from last 25 years, Java is leading the market with respect to application developments, real-time application developments or web application developments in the area of backend. So now associated to Java, we have so many frameworks. But out of all the frameworks, the majority of the market, the majority share of the market is always taken care by the Spring and Spring Boot only. So that means now in the market, the majority of the things, okay, the majority of the things in the job market is always about Spring and Spring Boot frameworks only. So other frameworks, some of the frameworks are gone from the market, that means nobody is using, and some of the frameworks are overridden with the Spring Boot features. That means Spring Boot is making all the things, or Spring is making all the things when discussing about other frameworks. So that means if you are knowing the knowledge of Spring and Spring Boot, that means whatever the other frameworks I given here, a list of other frameworks, those are all being covered as part of this framework. Similarly, I mean, you don't need to you don't need to worry much about what is this Quarkus Micronet and all. So generally, I can say like Quarkus is one more framework nowadays. It is slowly getting popularity. I'm not saying like it is slowly getting popularity, and it is similar to Spring Boot only. So that means why I am telling this point is, if you are knowing again Spring and Spring Boot very well, that will give you the knowledge of working on the Quarkus. Even tomorrow, when you join into any other company, what they will do is they will give you some Quarkus projects also, or Micronet projects also. So then you can start working on these projects very easily, because those are all frameworks are similar to Spring Boot only. So that means what is my point here? It is when we are good in one area, like practical point of view, good in the sense practical, don't say like theory point of view. Practically, when you are good in one area, so you can work on anywhere. So that is how you should you should have always knowledge of a framework, because in every real time company, in every real time application, to develop a project, to develop a project, they will always use this combination. What it is? Programming language plus frameworks. They will always use programming language always, as well as frameworks. They will always use combination of programming language versus frameworks. Programming languages plus frameworks. What is the need of it? Why every application will use the combination of programming language and framework? So I'll tell you that. Now, even if you take in the front end also, so we have some core technologies called as HTML, CSS, and then JavaScript. So if you taken these things also with respect to front end point of view, I'm talking. Now these three are very core technologies. What? To define the forms HTML, to apply the style CSS, to make forms are okay functioning, you will use the JavaScript. So by the combination of these three things will give you always UI development things. So front end you can development by using always these three things. But nowadays, if you are seeing there is a market again about React JS, they are talking about React JS, Angular JS. Okay, so many things. Not only this, React JS, Angular JS, Bootstrap, etc., 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 etc. So again, these are all calling as frameworks. So what is the point you have to understand again here? It is even with respect to front end also, people will always use, okay, along with the core technologies, frameworks. Similarly, in backend programming language also, backend also, you will always use frameworks along with the core programming languages like Java, Python, .NET. These are all core programmings. But on top of that, you will use always that associated language frameworks in our application. So what is the why? Now the question is, okay, programming language wise, okay, we know everything what is from basics to master level. We know what is a programming language, how to write the logic, how to do the activities based on the real time requirements, everything we can do in the programming language. Then what is the importance of framework? Why people are in every company people are using always frameworks with respect to front end back end point of view is, I will give you one statement here. It's all about rapid development. So now what is the point of rapid development? What is the point of rapid development here? Yeah, Kiran, I'll just come back to that. What is the prerequisites and all? So just I'll come back to that. Anyway, whatever I'm explaining right now, whether you are a fresher, I mean, you are not done with your core Java, advanced Java, it doesn't matter. This is a good knowledge for you. So just concentrate on it. But actual prerequisite point of view, I'll come back in the last minutes. Okay. Just concentrate on it. That's all. It is helpful for everyone, whether you know Java or not, no problem. Even if you are a Python, you know only Python, then also this is helpful, because this is a session like generic session. Why, what exactly we are going to learn as part of the framework? Why, what is the importance of framework like that? Okay. So now the framework is improving rapid development. So what is the point of rapid development here? It is, let me take a scenario like this. Now, for example, when it comes to our real life, okay, so assume you have a lot of money. So you have, so there are two scenarios. Few people will have less money and few people will have more money, right? So now tell me, in your real life point of view, generally, assume you want to construct a house. So then what will happen? It depends on the, okay, scenarios, whatever the money you are having, whatever the resources you are having, based on that, you will start all the things. Now assume whenever you are constructing a house, whenever you want to build a house, generally what you will do, you will plan like something my house should be completed within 1 year. My house should be completed within 1 year. So this is your target, completing within 1 year. Now in this case, assume you are having lot of money. Okay, you are doing a good business and you are getting a lot of money. Something like 2 CR house you want to construct or whatever it is. 2 million house or whatever it is. Now, in this case, what are the things you will consider as a owner point of view whenever you are constructing your beautiful house, your dream house? What are the things you will consider, guys? It's all about standard construction. So that means who is doing the proper construction and all, you will inquiry about it, and you will see who is making better constructions with respect to quality, with respect to every factor. You will understand who is making a standard construction. So the quality of construction. So that means why are you making all this? The reason is you want to make sure the product, whatever your house you are building, that should be always stronger, and that should be always stronger and next until 100 years or something like that. You are planning a long durability. So it should be, you should not have in future any problems whatever the house you constructed today. So that means you are going to the standard construction point of view you are doing. So you are considering all these things. And now one team came and they said, sir, whatever the standards you are asking, whatever the inputs you are giving, based on that we will construct your house, but we will deliver that house. Okay, so they are saying like this, we will deliver that house after 3 years. So you given their input to them and they said they will deliver your house to 3 years. After that, one more team came and they also listened all your requirements, all your inputs and all, and they said, okay, so they will give you house within 1 year. And whatever the things they are doing here, both are same. Both are same. But the point is, this team said like, sir, we will take, okay, something like I have 10 people with me, and those 10 people will make the work and they will complete the house like that, whatever that is. The resources they are talking about, we are having a lot of manual things, like only manual effort. Those, that is what they are saying, like we are having only manual efforts. They will keep only manual efforts and all while making the house and all. But this team came and said, yes, we do have same 10 people only, but only thing is, same 10 members only, but only thing is, here they said like, sir, we are using some advanced, okay, something like some advanced concepts or some instruments, whatever it is. They are saying like, we are having all these things, advanced instruments and all, we are having some automated things. By using all those things, we are going to complete your house. And they said here the cost is, they given calculation like it is something like 3 CR, because the reason, you know, that when time is increasing, definitely cost will increase. When time is decreasing, sometimes what will happen, when time is decreasing, cost will decrease. Sometimes in less time they will charge a little bit more. Now for example, these guys also said, sir, you have to pay so and so 3 million, whatever it is. Okay, you are having that much amount. Okay, just I'm saying like that. Now where you will tempt, which option you will choose, this one or this one? Definitely we will choose second option. Why? The reason is what, whatever the inputs you given to the team, whatever the inputs you given to this team with respect to budget, okay, maybe assume these guys said like somewhat 3.5 CR, little bit extra only they said, because they are giving in the less time, right? So they said, some, sorry, we will charge 3.5 millions. So then also you will choose this optionally. Why? That most important factor is time. The most important factor is time. So these guys are delivering within 3 years. After 3 years, these guys are delivering, completing one within 1 year. So that means, what is the point? Why? How they are able to do that? By using some advanced instruments or advanced things or predefined or ready-made things. So they are having a lot of weapons. I mean, not weapons, instruments or whatever it is. These are all something like ready-made things. ready-made things. By using those things and all, they are making rapid construction. Now tell me as a customer where you will, which option you will choose means definitely. So here they are doing rapid construction. So here they are not able to do that because they are not having that much automated things with them, instruments or whatever it is they don't have. They have to do everything manual effort. So that's why they are not able to do rapid construction. It's a very slow construction point of view. But here they are able to do the rapid construction and they are able to deliver within 1 year, even though little bit extra amount they are charging, but they are able to do. Here the majority of the times it's all about time factor. So that is how, however, in our real life point of view, whenever we are having money and whenever we are looking for our own products, however, we are considering all these things, time, money, everything into point of view, into our own consideration, and we are choosing this option ultimately. So, same point of view when you are working for a software application also, when a business person came, when a business person came and he was explaining about his business, assume now you want to start a e-commerce business like Flipkart. Now you explained all the things like, sir, this is what my expectation. Customers will register their details and I will display all the products to them and they will select they will do the, okay, they will explore the products, they will add it to cart and finally whatever the products they liked. So then they will make the payment and order will be created and then that order messages will go to the customer and then again. So these are all things you are explaining to a company. Now the company said, okay, we are using Java programming language. We are using Java programming language and we are using HTML, CSS, JavaScript. These are all things we will use and we will deliver your project after 2 years. So they said like by using Java language only, we are going to deliver your product after 2 years. Now the point is, now they went to this is the same business team went to other company. Now assume this is Infosys company and they went to some other company like assume TCS or wherever it is. Now what this team is done, what this people done here it is. So they said like, okay, we are all the requirements, whatever the business they are having, they explained this one, these people also. Generally we will do right. We will take the quotations. Whenever we want to buy something, we will use a word called as quotation. We will go to 5 to 6 places and we will give our inputs to them. They will give the quotations, whether it is a family functions or whatever it is, ornaments you are buying. So based on the best quotation, based on the best the information, you will prefer that option. Similarly, business teams given all their inputs to Infosys and everywhere. What how exactly their application should looks like and all. Okay. Now these guys said like 2 years of time and they are said like they are going to charge 5 million, okay, $2 million or $5 million, whatever it is. Now the point, okay, now business point of view, they are ready to spend $5 million. They don't have any problem. Now after that, they came to TCS and they explained about all the application and TCS said, yes, we will use as per your requirement Java only because to make more performance. Along with that, we are using some frameworks. Okay, framework, and then even we will use front end point of view also. The core technology is called as HTML, CSS, and as well as JavaScript plus frameworks. So even front end related frameworks also we are using like that. They said like everything will work as expected, whatever the performance point of view are thinking. And if we will make by using all these things and we will deliver your product within 1 year. So within 1 year. The reason is why, how it, the same application being developed within 1 year. The reason is here you have the concepts of frameworks. The frameworks. So the frameworks are making, so now I will explain you. So here when you are going with the core technologies, yes, you can create the software application. I am not saying like you cannot create. You can create. But only thing is you will take a lot of time because in a programming language point of view, you have to do so many things manually. You don't have any ready-made solutions. You don't have anything. Everything you have to write logic, everything as a manual point of view. But when it comes to the frameworks point of view, frameworks will always have some ready-made solutions. For a scenario, if you take in any real-time application scenarios, frameworks, 99% frameworks will always have ready-made solutions. Ready-made solutions or automated automation solutions. I can say like automated solutions also. So what is the point here? It is a framework is always have ready-made solutions and automated solutions for most of the scenarios. For most of the scenarios. So that means from that framework, whatever the framework you are using as part of your application, if you are having a scenario, something like, for example, tomorrow, when you are working for a real-time application, you will have something like Java connecting to the database. So one example I am taking. People who completed advanced Java, they will understand this. Now, I want to connect to database from my Java application. So this is only Java programming language. Now in this case, what is going to happen here it is, you will make a program that is going to connect it to the DB database, and that will execute logic on the queries on the database also. So this is called as database, and this is backend. Okay, this is backend, something like that. Backend. Now the program will take some time to make this setup, to make everything, writing a driver manager, registration of the driver, loading the drivers, all these things. There are some steps available. So you have to follow minimum 5 to 6 steps. 5 to 6 steps with respect to closing the connections, committing the results. So many things will be there. So minimum 5 to 6 steps, and it will take, assume, minimum 15 lines of code to do a small activity. I'm selling like very small activity, 15 lines of code, and it will take minimum 30 minutes of time to do the activity and all. So then you are sending the queries, you are making connection and everything, your program is working as expected. But only thing is, the development took around 1 hour to achieve the task. The development took around 1 year, 1 hour. So not 1 year, 1 hour. So now, if you take in same scenario again with respect to framework point of view, now in place along with the Java programming language application only, what I did here it is, along with Java, I used a framework called as, for example, let's take Spring only, Spring or Spring Boot. Now if I use Spring or Spring Boot in this case, along with Java language, by the time Spring Framework already have a solution with respect to database connectivity. So that means in this case, Spring Framework is already having solution to connect database. So that means as a Java developer, whatever 5 to 6 lines you written the logic to make the connection to the database, that you will achieve within one line here. So that you will achieve within one line in this case. So that means you will write just one line of logic. Hey Spring, I want to connect it to so and so database. Like that, you will give just the database details to the Spring Framework. Then automatically Spring Framework will make connection to the database with your one line of logic. So how it is possible? That means in this case, what Spring Framework, I mean not only Spring, for example, I taken Spring. Now in this case, what Spring Framework did here it is, Spring is related to Java programming language, right? So they taken Java programming language concepts, that means core Java plus advanced Java concepts, whatever it is. I'm considering as Java only, core and advanced. So what these guys did here it is, whatever the concepts we are having in the Java programming language core and advanced Java point of view. So they taken all the concepts and they automated those concepts. So that means on top of that, they applied lot of logics wherever we are having this kind of scenarios like database connections, all these things. They written a lot of logic. They written a lot of logics and they released into market as a framework. So that means here I used a word called as lot of logic. So this, as part of this logics on top of the regular programming language, what they did is, one of the scenario I'm telling you, they automated these 5-6 steps as part of their logics. And now they are announcing to the developers, they are telling to the customers, they are telling to the developers, hey developer, when you are going with the Java programming language, you have to write minimum 6 to 7 lines of logic to make a database connection, and to execute a small task you have to write minimum 10 to 15 lines of logic. 10 to minimum 10 to 15 lines of logic you have to write, and it will take minimum, definitely when you are writing more than one line means definitely it will take longer time. So assume it is taking 30 minutes of time, like that it is saying. But now framework is promoted as, if you taken my help as part of your Java project, then whenever you want to make a database connection you can write one line of logic, and to execute other tasks write one or two lines. The overall, the whatever the task you completed here within 10 to 15 lines you can complete within 2 lines. Yes, it is true guys. Okay, I'm not saying like simply, I know the fact, I know the reality of frameworks. So even you will realize once you are learning what are the struggles you made in the, generally this is the concept you will understand in the advanced Java, like JDBC concept. JDBC concept. So then what are the problems you faced, and when you are using Spring or Spring Boot, so you will make things within 2 lines. So that means you can complete within 5 minutes. Now see this is what called as rapid development. Now the point here it is, now the next point here it is, when it comes to result oriented, when it comes to business, I mean functionality and its result point of view, if I am talking, whatever the result you are getting, the same result you are also getting here also. The output of the functionality, the result of the functionality is same what you got here with respect to going with only programming language, with respect to programming language versus framework point of view. But what is the advantage? Here it took 30 minutes of time. Here it took 30 minutes of time. Here it took 5 minutes of time. Now, if you are taking this kind of comparison, then guess your project is going to be completed within less than 1 year itself. Whatever the Flipkart team given the inputs, based on that, whatever the way they implemented by using Java language, whatever we take in Java plus framework point of view, within 1 year you can implement, because the framework is always came up with lot of ready-made solutions, on top of a programming language, so that what will happen in this case, as a developer you will spend very less amount of time to write some logic, to execute some functionality, to implement some requirement. You will take very less amount of time. So that's why now frameworks are going to give always as what, rapid development. So when you are doing the rapid development, now that you are able to deliver that product to the business within 1 year. Now Flipkart team will select definitely TCS only. Now assume in this case Flipkart team, I mean these guys said like, okay, we will charge $6 million or maybe 6 to 7 million, in between $6 to 7 million they given the quotation. But still business will prefer, see it's 5 million. Maybe even generally it's not that, when time is increasing definitely salaries, who will pay the salaries? The company will pay the salary to developer, right? 2 years if there means definitely cost will be same. Leave about the cost. Even though little bit extra cost is there, but business will never worry about the money. Most of the times they will worry about the time, because if I got my product in 2026, then I will start my business in 2027. So that means unnecessarily I am wasting 2026 year. 1 year is waste. If I am having my product in my hands, maybe I can earn $100 million if I am making the business. So if I am worrying about this, okay, 1 million extra, whatever it is, and it is wasting 1 year time. So they will not look for the money, they will look for the time always. Now if as per the TCS, their intention is the product is going to be handed over by 2025 December. Now they can start using that product and they can do business in 2026. So like that, people business will think always like that, and based on things only comes out. Now that is how the point here it is, frameworks are always coming up with the ready-made solutions on top of the programming language. So that means what you have understand here, what is a framework means? Frameworks are always built on top of existing programming languages. So point number one, that is what you have to remember. Built on top of existing programming languages means, as a developer we should know always first programming language. That's why people will teach you always frameworks after the programming languages. So programming language is not something else. Programming language is again, when you are working as part of the Spring Boot means you are again writing Java logic only. But only thing is you will write less amount of logic when comparing with the pure Java logic, pure Java programming language. So here you will write very less amount of code with in the form of Java only, but less amount of logic you will write so that you can do the lot of development very quickly and you can deliver the products quickly also. So then customers will be happy and you are also happy because you are writing very less amount of code and you can take one more project like that. These are all the real time scenarios. That's why people will always prefer the frameworks as part of the thing. Now even if I said front end point of view also, that's what nowadays why people are saying like React Angular, React Angular, React Angular in the sense, yes, even if in this case if they are using only HTML, CSS, JavaScript, assume the front end will also take only front end point of view I'm taking. Assume if they are using only HTML, CSS and then JavaScript, if it is taking 1 year front end time, 1 year of time. But if you go with the, if you are adding a framework to that, maybe if it is a React or Angular, whatever it is, then the result, the product you can complete within 6 months, below 6 months itself. The reason is again React or Angular JS coming up with a lot of ready-made solutions with respect to front-end functionalities. You just need to identify those functionalities and start using as part of your development. Then you can complete the entire front-end within 6 months, less than 6 months. So that is what the scenario people are. That is why people will choose again with respect to front-end point of view also React or Angular as part of the things. So that means now what you understood guys from this. Now today, if you want to become as a full stack developer, in any programming language, what you have to know. So that's why as full stack programming nowadays why people are covering is, if it is front end point of view, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and they will teach one of the framework called as either React or Angular. This is front end point of view. And back end point of view, Java, maybe if you take in Java means core plus advanced Java. I'm not saying like only core. So then you are going to teach with the Spring Boot these things, right? So these are all things. Now as a full stack developer, you should have knowledge of all these things. So you should know one of the framework from the front end as well as one of the framework from the back end point of view. You should know, must and should. And this is the full stack. This is the technology stack people will use in every application. So now what is the ultimate points we have to understand here? It is, if you want to good with the frameworks, you should know the programming language. And whenever you are good in the see, now one more point I will tell you. Assume a developer is able to finish this work, is able to finish his work by using only Java programming language. He knows all the things with respect to Java language and he written everything within 30 minutes. Now if you taken same developer into this scenario, when developer is able to do task or logic implementation with respect to only core Java language, and he was good in core Java and he was done all the things within 30 minutes. Now assume for the same developer, it will become, I can say like just on fingertips. Now frameworks will give like something like fingertip solutions. So it will become a fingertip for him. So that means even he can finish this work within 2 minutes also. I mean, the logic implementation, he can complete within 3 minutes also. The reason is, he did lot of hard work in the programming. Here itself, he knows so many things. Here itself, from top to bottom, he knows everything. And based on that, he written the logic. Here, so many things already taken care by the framework. Then developer point of view, it is very easy for that. So that means my point here it is, again, you are stronger in programming language, then for you framework is just like a tooltip. So just like a fingertip for you, that like that framework will provide you solutions. So like that framework is going to provide you solutions. Okay, so this is the advantage of framework. So that means now what you have to understand here it is, programming framework is nothing but programming language topics plus some of the ready-made solutions. So what I'll give you something here. So a framework will provide always, what? It will always provide ready-made solutions, point number one. Ready-made solutions with respect to any tasks, some of the scenarios. Point number two. And they will provide sometimes advanced solutions, over the programming language. So that means the same solution available in the programming language also. But when comparing with the programming language, this is a very advanced solution and you are getting a lot of benefits if you are using the framework. So that is how the things are here. And so frameworks will provide solutions to existing problems of a programming language. So that means assume, yeah, there are some problems will be available in programming language. When you are doing the coding, some common things, some common issues will be there. For to handle those issues, you will write a lot of logic. So those are all I'm considering as a problems. So whatever the problems existed in a programming language, for those problems also, framework will always provide the solutions. So that is how the framework is making always a better choice with respect to any programming language application development. So without without framework, 90% you will not implement any real-time applications nowadays. The reason is everyone wants quickly things. Time is the most important in this world. So time is the most important in this world comparing with money also. So you may not get back time. So that's why people will always choose frameworks with respect to our application development. And frameworks will not only that, it is giving a lot of advanced solutions, ready-made solutions to the existing problems. So many advantages you will get over the frameworks. That's why everyone is worrying about the framework. Now I told you as part of Java language point of view, yes, the market is all about majority is now only with respect to Spring and Spring Boot. So now the difference, what is the Spring and Spring Boot point of view? I'll explain very clearly tomorrow. In tomorrow's session again, I'll explain whether you want to learn Spring or you want to learn only Spring Boot or only Spring, and what is the difference between Spring and Spring Boot? What is the need of Spring Boot or what is the need of Spring? Why? What is the difference between Spring and Spring Boot? All this information I'll discuss in tomorrow's session, continuation to this. But today I'll just discuss other points because it will take some time point of time. That's why I'll discuss tomorrow. Okay. So first think about as a programming language versus framework point of view. This is all the things you have to consider always with respect to programming language versus framework point of view. Okay, cool. Now as a Java developer point of view, we decided to go with the Spring Boot, Spring or Spring Boot or Spring and Spring Boot. I can say like Spring and Spring Boot. We decided to go with Spring and Spring Boot. What is microservices also I'll explain tomorrow, guys. Okay, it's not a framework. I'll give you one more heading here. Just remember this small statement. We will discuss very clearly tomorrow or day, like that. Continuation to this. Microservices point of view, because the title name is what? Spring and Spring Boot microservices, right? Training point of view. So I'm saying like Spring and Spring Boot frameworks, but microservices is not a framework. Please remember that point. That's why I'm not bringing that word microservices into this overall discussion. I didn't brought it. The reason is microservices is not a framework. This is a architecture. This is a architecture. So what is an architecture and all? I will explain again. Continuation to this. So, but one small thumb rule you have to remember is don't feel like microservices, the word what you are saying in the Spring Boot and microservices point of view. Microservices is not at all a programming language concept, not at all a framework concept. There is no relation with the programming with respect to microservices. It's all about an architecture of building an application. Building means creating a software application. Building means building an application. So while building a software application, you're creating a software application. This is one of the architecture you will follow. That is what the microservices high level idea. So I'll discuss in detail again. Okay, so don't feel like it's a framework. Don't say anywhere else. So, but we will see what and all like continuation to this. Okay, so yes, definitely microservices architecture is more popular architecture nowadays, being followed in every industry or in every application development in any programming language. Even this microservices concept architecture, I said architecture, right? I'll give you high level few points. Microservices, I told like architecture, right? So how, what is the architecture and all I'll explain later. But the same microservices architecture is related to not only Java programming language. It is being used as part of the Java applications, Python applications, .NET applications, etc., 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 etc. So that means the architecture is being used in every programming language. So there are a lot of advantages available again as part of the microservices architecture. So what and all, I'll give you a clear session, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, continuation to this. So then only we will enter into actual Spring Framework programming point of view and all. That's what I told you. Before doing something, before learning something, we should know what exactly we are learning next to 2 3 months, or what is the need of it, what is the reality of it. We should know all the facts. Then if you started learning, then you'll get the interest. So that's why I'm taking all these sessions. Okay. My next point here it is, now, as a job seeker point of view, as a fresher point of view, as a graduated point completion, graduation completed point of view, experienced people point of view, what is the, how much knowledge you required in from a Spring and Spring Boot microservices point of view? I'll tell you. So I'm just giving you the statistics here based on my knowledge and based on the students I communicated and what we are seeing in our office on daily basis with respect to experienced people, fresher people, and all. I'll tell you. Now, when it comes to who completed and you are seeing the job seeker, so your job aspirant. So with respect to this, I'm telling you, you should have definitely the combination of Spring and Spring Boot. Sorry, Java, Spring Boot market nowadays. I mean, you should have knowledge of Spring Boot. Without Spring Boot, I'm telling you, your job chances will come to 10%. So I'm saying like maybe if you're having luck and in this 10% you are there and without Spring Boot, maybe you can get the job without Spring Boot. So if without Spring Boot, 10% chances are there to get a interview calls. First of all, to get a interview calls itself, you will not get the interview calls. The reason is that's what I told you. In every software application, we will use frameworks, and nowadays people are using Spring Boot. And knowledge wise, as a job seeker point of view, first you should have knowledge. So at least you should have, there are some modules available. I can say like medium level knowledge. Medium. So what is the point of medium here? It is, what are the concepts available? Point number one. And which concept related to which functionality? Which functionality? That is what also you should know. And then you should know how to use those concepts for small small requirements point of view. So these are all things at least you should have overview, like what are the concepts available in Spring Boot, which concepts related to which functionality. If it is database, what are the concepts? If it is web application, what are the concepts? And how to use those concepts for small requirement point of view. At least you should have minimum knowledge, medium level knowledge. This is what you need always. Okay. Now, if you are looking for more and more, if you are making stronger in this medium level itself, it's okay. But when it comes to experienced people, yes, this is the most demanded skill for experienced people also. For example, assume you are having 2 to 3 years of experience and you are looking for your job switch, then you should be in a position like medium plus plus incrementing. So that means you should know all these things definitely, point number one. And along with that, you should be in a position like how we are going to make the debugging. That means if any issues comes, how you are going to make the debugging, how you are going to make the fix and all. With respect to practical point of view, you should know all these things. So that means you should have how you are going to do the log analysis, So these are all things, even as a job seeker point of view also, I'll teach all these things. I'm not saying like that. We will see what is debugging, what is log analysis, what is loggers and all, I'll teach. But only thing is, when you're attending an interview for 2 3 years experience, then people will concentrate on these areas more and more. So these are all real-time things, like with respect to how you are making debugging in the Spring Boot applications, how you are making the log analysis as part of Spring Boot applications, and some of the real-time scenarios point of view, how we are achieving the security point of view. So these are all things, some advanced concepts will be there that you need always. But these are all things will be covered as part of our training, whether you are a fresher or experienced, in common way it will be covered. But I am telling you, when you are feeling burden, at least you should be in this position. If you are good with all these concepts as a job seeker, even you can step into this area also, like that. Now, after that, if it is more than 5 years, 5+ point of view, what people will expect is definitely they will expect all these things. And apart from that, they will expect customization point of view. Customization means with 5 years of experience as a senior developer, what are the customized things you implemented as part of your application by using Spring Boot? Have you implemented your own anything, your own solutions apart from the Spring Boot solutions? Like that, there are so many things comes around with the customization point of view. Like that, interviews will happen, guys. Okay, for example, if you've taken me, I'm a panel, I taken interviews from last 8 9 years. When I have 3 years of experience onwards, I taken interviews as a panel. It's not about I given interviews to the company. I also given interviews to so many companies in last 12 years. So I got a lot of offers and all. Okay, that is a different story. As a panel point of view, how I will think is that's what I'm telling you. When people are coming with as a fresher point of view, we will understand like this guy is having knowledge of concepts or not. At JDBC level, what are the concepts? A small examples we will expect from them. We will not ask them, can you say like any customization, what are the log analysis and all? We will not ask them. Nobody will ask most of the times. Most of the times. But whenever we are asking what are the concepts related to that functionality, small examples, if you are not able to do that, we will reject it. Similarly, 2 3 years persons, they will start from here only, basics only. If everything is good, then we will move to this area. And even if they are ready to say, I mean, they are telling all these things with their experience point of view, then that is how people will be selected. So this is what called as medium plus means advanced version. You should become a pro. So that means pro means in this case what you have to make sure customization of solutions, providing extra solutions on top of Spring Boot solutions, all these things and all you should make sure. So this is how things will happen as part of the things in every organization. So now if you want, I can just show you. Let me open something like Naukri. Yeah. So I think this is from the Naukri.com. I collected this report. If you observe here, top 100 tech skills that recruiters are searching. So that means in the Naukri portal, HR people are recruiters. They are searching always for this skill set. If you see here, Java is the number one. So let me, sorry to, yeah, prerequisites, I'm coming to that area. Yeah, Shekhar, I'll give you just, I'll complete within 4 5 minutes. Then you can take the things. Okay. See, this is how things are coming to the Java, Angular. If you see here, Spring Boot. So this is how Java, JavaScript, Spring Boot. These are all things are always leading the market. Just understand that Spring Boot is always leading the market over the Spring and all, and microservices also. So I'm not going to discuss about this one. I'm just showing you, I'm creating an awareness how the reality is. I don't know whether I forgot my login username, password and all. I think we can search here directly. So if you see here, I'm searching with the skill called as Java. And I'm not given even Spring and Spring Boot also. If you see here, if you are searching with the Java, they are asking about microservices. And if you open it, internally you will see Spring and all. So Java programming, Java microservices. When there is a microservices concept is there, definitely there is a framework. That thumb rule, I know that. Okay, even if you open the description and all, you will see they will ask something like Spring Boot. See, that's what. So like that, they will ask the things. Even if you are looking for fresher point of view, 0 years experience, you are looking for Java fresher jobs, 0 to 1 years. They are expecting Spring Boot, Java Spring Boot, Java Spring Boot. See, 0 years only, but they are expecting Spring Boot, Spring Boot. Every job is expecting Spring Boot. I shown you 5 jobs. 5 jobs are expecting Spring Boot. Seventh job, Spring Boot. Eighth job. Again, if you go, okay, this is technology is different. I think if you go internally, see, even React, maybe they need only front end point of view. They need multiple technologies. So even if you go only with respect to Java, whenever there is a Java, Spring Boot is there. That is what you have to understand the point. So that much important nowadays it is. Okay. So now the prerequisite point of view, I'll close with this prerequisite. What is the prerequisites here you want here it is. First thing is you should go good with the core Java. That is mandatory 100%. The second one, advanced Java knowledge also you need, especially JDBC plus servlets. JDBC plus servlets knowledge you should have. If you are having at least basic knowledge of JDBC, basic knowledge of servlet, like you know how to write a JDBC program, you know how to write a servlet program and how to execute a servlet program on a Tomcat server or web, whatever the application server. So that means basic knowledge, basic to medium level knowledge of if you are having in JDBC and servlets, then that's all, that's more enough to join the this Spring and Spring Boot. So that means these are the prerequisites you should have. So here, basic to medium level knowledge you have. So that means at least you know how to write a simple JDBC application and how it is interacting with the database and what exactly database is doing, how connectivity you are making from Java to database. So that means simply guys, advanced Java, you should complete advanced Java, JDBC and servlets. Then that is the prerequisites you should know before joining into the Spring and Spring Boot. So these are the two things as a prerequisite you should know if you continue as a Spring and Spring Boot microservices point of view. Okay, so this is all about today's session. And then now you can come back with your doubts and I'll try to clear all your doubts and then we'll close the session. So let's take next 5 to 10 minutes as doubt section. So don't consider these sessions as a demo sessions. Okay, I'm telling you one more time, people will feel like demo. No, it's not demo. Consider this is also as a training point of view. The reason is this, I explained so many realities. I shown you so many realities. So this is what more knowledge you need actually when you want to become a what? When you want to become you want to be consistent with respect to your job trials and you want to be very comfort with respect to what you are understanding, what you are learning and all. This knowledge is more important. This is what real time knowledge. This kind of knowledge will not given most of the times or you will not get what's happening in the reality point of view. So that's why consider this is also day 1 is more important than day 10. I know that point. I'll follow that rule. When your day 1 day 2 is good, then automatically your day 9 day 10 will become good. But if you are not good in day 1 day 2, your day 10 will become little bit confusing. So that's why day 1 is more important than day 2. So any doubts you can come back and I'll ask. I'm opening the chat box or you can come and you can ask your doubts. So I'll try to give you a chance.
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yeah, yes, you're audible.
Hi, sir. I'm Shekhar here.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, I have 7 years of in the gaps. Actually, I'm a non-IT, non-IT person. I have done basic or to medium things of in the Spring and Spring Boot, but I want to join this course as a for a practical purpose or a real-time cases. And then second thing is I have not done any work or anything. So there is an chances of in the taking the fake experience like 2 to 3 years of in the experience. So is this course is on the right path that is I am choosing
Yes.
that is in the
Yes,
completed
Shekhar. So
after
for
completion.
example, yeah, I got your point. See, this course is for meant for everyone. That's what I told you. It is not for only job seekers. It is all about who is looking for the experience, who is looking for who is already working, if they want upskill and everything point of view this course. The reason is with previous batches, I have more than 15-20 examples who got job with an experience. Not okay, by after completing this, they got job with good packages by applying some experience point of view. They applied some experience based on their gap and all. They got the jobs and they are doing well here. Only thing is, yes, this course is meant for everyone from fresher to experience. If you want to climb some experience and as well as you are already working and you are looking for more upskilling and what you want, internal details, practical details, like that. This course is meant for everyone, and there are students. I cannot show data right now in this live environment point of view. So there are so many students who got job, who secured their jobs as a fresher, as a experienced people also, and whoever is upskilled, they also got good packages. And that's what I got your point. You can apply some experience after this. Only thing is, it doesn't matter of attending the training. It's not matter of attending the training. It's matter of how much efforts you are keeping along with my training. So that means I'll give two examples for a topic, but people are practicing only two examples and they are sitting ideally. I don't like it. I mean, then you will not get the proper chances. The way you have to prepare like is, when I given two examples, by giving lot of theory and internal details, as a training point of view, I cannot give more than that, right? So you should make sure, like, those, apart from those two, you have to practice minimum 5 to 6, 10 examples, and you should become more practical with respect to everyday practice. So that is how the that is way you have to kickstart your training, your learning, and then you will be in a position of, I mean, then you will settle down your career. So that is the only difference. See, 10 students are there, 2 3 people are getting job, means remaining is not making proper efforts. So that's why it's not, so you can proceed with this. And there are so many things I can discuss as part of the training, how to apply the things, how you are make sure your career as part of the, even you are applying the experience, and how things will happen as part of the organization, what we are doing on daily basis, things will be covered as part of the training. Generally what I will do is, if I taken 10 days continuous training for spring boot, 11th day what I will do, one day I'll make sure what things are, how things are happening in an organization in a real time point of view. I'll take a separate session, a real time knowledge point of view. So one day I'll take like that. Again, after 15 classes, complete Spring Boot. Then again, one more class, how things are, like how business is approaching things, how business is coming to the company, how they will give requirements to us, and how those requirements are analyzed, and how we are making the diagrams, how we are making that analysis to coding level. These are all things we will discuss in the class. Generally, I'll make my sessions like that. So that's why I have got good what positivity on this training. So you just cross check with anyone else. Yeah. Any other doubts, Shekhar? If you have
Yeah,
more doubts, you can reach out me my number. Okay, they given number, right? You can contact
okay.
them even if you want one to one. You want to speak anyone else, not only you. So we will try to assist you and we will try to give you the guidance.
And sir, what is the time to contact with you? The exact time when you are free to
Generally,
contact
I'll
me
be free before 12,
before
especially
that.
and
Okay.
in between. Yeah, before 12. Even sometimes I'll be free after in between 2 to 4 also. Mostly I'll be free. Maybe if I'm working in other company, but it's okay. I can manage. No problem.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So any others, guys? Any others? Any doubts? If you have anything, you can speak. You can type whatever you
Yeah,
want.
hello, hello.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I can hear you.
Yeah, myself, Funny. Actually, are you planning any real-time project following to this
Uh,
Spring Boot and microservices?
Frankly, I'm telling you, Fanny, I haven't started any real-time projects as of now. Even I don't have
Okay,
any plan also. The reason
okay.
is I just have limited timing, and I'm just providing only real training and how to, I mean, training with respect to practical knowledge point of view, internal details and all. But I don't have any plan for what real-time projects as part of the training,
Or
because
else, no, or else as a part of this training, I mean, as a part of this program, are you going to teach us any real-time examples, like
yeah,
any
yes,
project
sorry,
kind of?
I'll do that. Yeah, yeah, yes, I'll take care of that. So generally I thought of showing this one also. See, so if generally as part of this training, we will take the entire Spring Boot, what is Spring Boot, difference between Spring and all. This is the curriculum we are going to discuss, guys. Sorry, I forgot to show
Okay,
this. And these are
okay.
all things are entire Spring and Spring Boot. Everywhere you will see all this. And I will teach about microservices. And apart from that, I'll teach Maven, Log4j, Postman, Swagger, Git, debugging, Jira, Docker, okay, deployment on the cloud environment. These are all things will be covered at the end of the training. So I'll cover Maven,
Okay,
I'll cover all these things. These are all things
okay,
that are coming under the real-time projects. We are using on daily basis in our projects also. These are all things I'll cover generally.
okay. And the
Okay.
classes will be Monday to Friday, or we can talk
No,
to
Monday
you
to
on.
Saturday. Definitely
Okay,
class will be
okay.
to Monday to Saturday. If required, I will conduct on Sunday also, but 99% I will not do that because I need to take some break, right? But classes are regular Monday to Saturday, not on until Friday, Monday to Saturday.
This document will be shared.
Yeah, we will share it with you. Just you approach this number, they'll just do the WhatsApp, they'll share this PDF document and everything with you.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So any
So
others, guys?
tomorrow on, you are going to
Yeah,
start
it's
session, right?
continuation. This is say timing is
Okay.
permanent time and continuation. There is no gap. There is no thing. So today day one is
Okay.
completed. It's a continuation.
Okay, sure. Fine.
So any others, guys? Any others? If you don't have anything, we can wind up the session. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me, or you can reach out on number also. If you are hesitated to ask here, no problem. So you just refer my channel and you will come to know that how I am teaching also. That's a real point of view, how you can see. You can estimate how things are happening as part of this channel. These are the ways I just given some of the sessions, not entire the things. And this is completely a paid course also. You just go through here and all you can see what are the I given only few sessions here, not everything. Just to show you how I'm going to teach and what are the way of my explanation and all. I just given all these details. Okay, it's I'm just a beginner in this area. Just see here, and you can come to a decision the things how it is happening and all. So based on that only you can take a decision. I'm not saying anything. Okay. Sir, I got one offer with Core Java and my previous automation experience. They asked to learn Spring Boot. Yes, Muthu, that is what I said, right? So if you are getting Java means definitely the people will expect Spring Boot. Okay, so that is what the overall agenda I explained in the demo. So that's why Spring Boot knowledge is mandatory. Whether you are getting Java job means definitely that's what I told you. Maybe they will give you job sometimes on Java, but after that they will ask you to learn frameworks only. Sir, can we keep fake experience? How is the market scared of this fake? See, Kiran, for everything there will be an alternative. Okay, remember that point. Last month also there are people who got the job. Last week also there are people who got the jobs, irrespective of technologies. So for everything there will be an alternatives. Only thing is you should be in that line. So few options may not be suitable. Few options may be scared. Few options there you can to get a job. So only thing is you have to identify those options, but everything is possible. Even in 2013 when I got job, I also got with 3+ years experience. In 2013 when I tried when I'm giving the trials 2012-13 time. Okay, so that means everything is possible. Only thing is be on the track, spend your do hard work. That's what I used to suggest everyone. Without doing hard work, without okay making a step, don't look for the results. Make steps, no problem. Nothing will do, nothing will happen. No one will do anything, no one will tell you anything, no one will kill you anything. If you are getting a job, try to utilize all the ways, all the opportunities. So don't leave one option. Whatever the options you found, it if you feel like okay, this is the option, use it, no problem. Right? One fine day you need one job. So for that job, you can find out lot of alternatives, lot of solutions, lot of options, and use every option. Nothing will happen. No one will come to you. Okay, don't worry about it. Yeah, right now that's what I told you, Kiran. Yeah, so there are some challenges will be there. I'm not saying like challenges are not there. Definitely challenges will be there with respect to your profiles. And see, at any point of time, people will say like that time is good, this time is bad. No, after 10 years, if you are teaching, if you are saying something to someone else, then they will say like, don't talk, Kiran. At that time, your time is right. Your time is maybe good, but our time is very bad. So that means past is always good. Present is always we will feel like bad. But after 10 years, you will only say like, yes, at that time that is good. And others will say like, if you are telling to someone, they will say like, yes, at that time is everything is good, Kiran. So now you are, this is bad time. So that means past is always good, but present is always looks like bad, but not bad. So just this is all you need to understand. So there are alternatives, there are things, but some profiles maybe there is some difficulty. I'm not saying like everything is easy. Everything positives are there, negatives are there. Any suggestions to come up? You can reach out me, Kiran. Maybe on Sunday I'll talk to you, or maybe Saturday also. I'll be free on Saturday, so you can reach out on that number. I'll try to talk to you. Okay. So instead of here. So I only know basics of Java and advanced Java. Can I join the course? Hruday. Yeah, yes, Hruday. That's what I told you. If you are good in, meanwhile, you can start core Java. Okay, brushing up your core Java. And if you are having basic knowledge of advanced Java, what is JDBC, what is servlets and all, what is the Tomcat server, all these things, then you can join the Spring Boot and Spring. And meanwhile, sometime you can spend on the core and advanced Java also for the practice. Okay, if you are good with core Java, you can play with Spring Boot. If you are good with core and advanced, you can play with Spring and Spring Boot. So spend some time on here also when you are doing the practice for Spring and Spring Boot. Like that, you have to plan your preparation. Batch will end on January. So it will take 3 to 4 months, through 4 years. Sorry. 3 to 4 months. Around 4 months it will take, guys, the training. Okay, with quality of time, I'll take minimum 1 hour 15 minutes every day. Minimum 1 hour 15 minutes. So it will take minimum 4 months. I'm Ramlavesh. I'm honest to attend this. Thank you, Rajib. I saw your efforts also. So thanks for your appreciation. So definitely I'll prove myself. I will provide you all the details. Yeah, this is the office number, Kiran. Just approach them. Probably I'll available at the time I'll take, or they will share my number also. If you're saying your name and all, then I'll talk to you. Okay. Mostly I'll available on this number also. If not, I'll I'll connect to you. Okay, don't worry. First reach out on this number. Yeah, drive links and all I'll give you day after tomorrow. Don't worry. Recordings. So as part of this training, I forgot to tell you, we will make 1 or 2 small mini projects also at the end. I will make one small project. I'm not saying, I'm not promising like major, and at that time I will not discuss anything. 2 3 days I will spend some time on one of the mini project. That is point number one. And as part of this training, we will provide you recordings. Once you are making payments and all, you will have a recordings of everyday session, and it is lifetime access. So that means once you pay, it will be available for you lifetime. And that is what recordings will be given to you every day. I will upload on Google Drive, and that link access I will provide to you so that you can access, okay, those recordings, and you can revise recordings. You can listen even if you are missing one of the classes, also 1 or 2 classes you can. So we will provide recordings also, and as well as material also. I prepared a good material in this case, and that material also I'll share it with everyone. So this is the material actually I used to share with the students, and this is having a good explanation and everything. This is what more, this entire PDF I'm going to share it with you once you are registering with this course. Okay, so this is all prepared by myself, everything, 500 pages point of view of material, and whatever the things I'm discussing, the classroom examples. So that means in the classroom I'll make examples, right? Those are also, I will share everything classroom material, that I will call it as a classroom material. Simply I'll show you. So like this, every day we will share see, these are all the batches I completed earlier. Spring Boot microservices, nighttime, all these things I completed. So I'll share all these documents like this, interview questions, Lombok. This is a real-time tool. I'll share this one. I'll explain, and I'll share the materials, Maven, microservices, Spring modules, Spring Boot modules, and the classroom material. And I'll upload the images also. So whatever the images we are discussing on every day in our class point of view, everything will be shared with you like this only. So like this, every recording, every images, what we are discussing on flow diagrams and all, I'll discuss with everyone. I'll share it with everyone. So I'll provide you each and everything from whatever I have from my side. I'll give you everything once. Okay. So this is what generally will take care of it. Okay. So sir, while teaching, can you also Spring Boot? Okay. Sir, I don't know servlets, but somehow I understand REST is mandatory to learn advanced Java. Little bit knowledge of servlets is more important, Kiran. Definitely, see, that's what I told you. Spring frameworks built on top of programming. That means we should know at least basics, how servlet, what is servlet, at least basic idea. So that you should know. Otherwise, see, without knowing also you can learn. But only thing is it will be in a process of by hearting. I don't like that way. So that's why if you know at least medium basics to medium, then I can make more on top of that. So that's why just have minimum knowledge.